Hello there everyone, my name is Kralow, and today I'm coming to you with a very important Bitcoin update and just general trading update that you guys really might want to watch till the end, because I know that among my audience there's a lot of people who are brand new to trading, who have never been in trading, and maybe it's your first bull run, so you're not used to drawdowns, you're not used to liquidations, you're not used to losing money or having short-term losses. So I decided to make this video and discuss what I'm personally seeing right now, and from my experience, what comes next, and as to whether I am worried about the current situation and how do I personally deal with these kinds of painful situations, because I feel you. And judging by the comments, judging by some hate, and which is logical, I wanted to make this video to, put your mind at ease and actually show you what is really happening. Before we come back to the chart and before I give you my understanding of the current situation and how to actually handle these kinds of situations, I wanted to go over some news, some of which are not very good. First piece of news is that Powell actually spoke recently at Washington Forum, and he said that recent data shows lack of further progress on inflation, and that it will likely take longer than expected to achieve confidence that inflation will return to 2%, etc. So inflation is quite sticky, and we're really hoping right now that the pivot of the Fed will come sooner than later. And because otherwise, if they're going to keep the interest rates higher for too long, we might actually come back to the topic of going into a recession, and that might not be very good. But now, when it comes to the current Black Swan event, which is what is driving the price lower right now, and that is the Israel conflict, just real quick update. There is some Hopium here that Bibi actually has bent to Biden, and Netanyahu postponed a planned attack on Iran following Biden's counsel turning a military decision into a political dilemma. So for now, Israel has actually delayed their response to Iran, and that's a good thing. So we're really hoping that this is going, because the world cannot afford another war. Let's be honest, it's going to be very expensive, and nobody needs another thousands of deaths for no freaking reason. So this is some good news on the horizon, but this can change it in this situation is unfreaking predictable. Next piece of news that I wanted to give you is that the Bitcoin halving, look, literally 2 days away. So congratulations, you've come this far, and this is going to also have a very huge implication into what I'm going to be discussing later in this video. Next piece of news is the ETF, and I think that the ETF is not looking that very good. Even BlackRock is actually reducing the accumulation, and Arkham has actually sold yesterday $42 million worth of Bitcoin ETFs, and Grayscale keeps dumping. Right now, the entire dump is sitting at like 16 billion. I mean, they still hold a lot more, so they could keep dumping. So this is also not very good. However, there is something that compensates for all of this. Two things. Thing number one is that the London Stock Exchange confirms that it will launch trading Bitcoin exchange traded notes, ETNs, on May 28th. And besides this, we're also seeing this, which is what I've covered in the last few days. So Hong Kong also has an ETF, which is projected to bring in billions in volume, and literally in the first few months. And this is also going to launch probably in the next 30 days, or as soon as by the end of this month. So therefore, and we have Bitcoin halving right now. So that brings me to the entire topic of what I wanted to discuss in this video. We have a lot of uncertainty, some good news, some not very good news. And certainly a lot of people have been caught off guard, and they possibly were part of big liquidations. Right here, we see a lot of liquidations, billions of dollars worth of longs liquidated. And if you look at Bitcoin technically, right now it's also not looking very good. If you look at it technically, we had this support, which used to be our resistance, and now in the daily chart, we actually managed to close below this support, as you can see right here. So it really opens up the road to this worst case scenario for me currently. Unless we have a huge World War III, then the worst case scenario will have to be reevaluated. But right now, this is the block that I think we should not go below. So it's like 52 to 58,000. And certainly, if you are a degen who wants to make crazy money, you were in altcoins, and altcoins have suffered the most. Some of the altcoins that I was buying, we actually have been taking profits on them, and we've made good money, so we don't have much of a loss on altcoins. But some of the trades, even for example in our Kralow trading club, we also have some losses right now, also on our copy trading accounts. The high risk one is not doing so well, but I mean, that's something that has a potential of total liquidation. That's the reason why it's high risk. But then Kralow Trades is doing relatively well right now at minus 20% drawdown, which for a black swan event, for a major correction like this, in light of everything else that is happening in the ETF and halving and possible Fed pivot, in the light of all of this, it's still doing quite well in comparison to so many people who got liquidated. But in general, guys, what I want to convey here is that it is painful. It is not a good look. I understand that, you know, when you're coming to the market, and normally, probably most of you didn't listen to me to buy a Bitcoin at 17,000 when it was back down here, and most of you are probably getting into it right here. So therefore, this drawdown might be looking very painful and very hard to endure. And I do understand. But listen to this, please. I've been through different bull markets. I've been through bear markets. I've been making millions and sometimes losing millions. I could make 1 million in a day. I could also lose 1 million in one day. What I'm trying to convey here, that this pain is always going to be there. But as one smart man has once said, you sometimes suffer more in your head than in reality. And what I want you to understand, that this is normal in the world of crypto, especially if you're using leverage, especially if you're trading altcoins, because there is always a direct correlation between reward and risk. So if you're risking something, you actually have the chance of making something. If you have zero risk in your life, you have zero chance of making anything extraordinary. And everyone is always very happy to see crazy returns, number go up, like in our community, in the trading club. Everybody's always very happy to see crazy returns. But as soon as there is a small drawdown, people panic. They have pain. They don't know what to do with this pain. They have never been in it before. So that's why I'm here, Mr. Spot On, for you, even though right now I also have like minus 100K on my Ethereum trade, which I keep building and I keep believing in it, even if it goes to 2,500, whatever. If we have the continuation of the Black Swan event, I will treat this correction as the last huge correction before true bull run actually begins. So when everyone is fearful, and this is something that has been said not just by me, but also by Warren Buffett, when everyone is fearful, when your gut is telling you that this is a horrible idea, this is usually the beginning of a very good entry price, even though it might not still be perfect, but it is a good one. Whenever you feel amazing and great and everybody's making money, as I told you before, this is usually the peak. This is usually the time to be very careful about your trades. And as soon as there is a correction, this is when you actually buy. This is when you actually get in. And with this philosophy alone, you can make life-changing money through Kralow Trading Club, or not Kralow Trading Club, whatever, in crypto in this bull run. So I want you to take away the following from this video. News are news, trades are trades. But your emotional state is what matters, and what is actually going to make your entire trading journey either pleasurable or absolutely horrific. And as me, as a person who has been into trading for so many years, and 10 years now, I've been through all these ups and downs, and they always will be there, and sometimes they can be devastating. But remember, we are in this game together, and you can actually suffer less by just accepting the reality of this game, that you will not be perfect, and it is okay. So stay strong. Let's wait for the halving. Let's see what happens with Israel, and just keep accumulating and keep degenerating into it with all we've got, because there is nothing else besides Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now. And any correction, in my opinion, as I've said before, is a generational wealth creation opportunity. Certainly not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. I'm very transparent. I'm very straightforward. And if we all go belly up, at least we tried. And we'll be able to tell our children that, guys, we tried. The worst thing will be to actually be telling your children there was an opportunity, but I chickened out like a piece of shit. Don't do this. Again, not financial advice. Peace and love. Thomas Kralow. Stay smart. Stay very rich. And check out this quick tutorial as to how to trade Bitcoin with proper risk and money management. It's going to be useful. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.